Christ, why don't we love each other in the black community? This is a lie. This is a lie that the Christian church has taught us. John 3:16, Christ has not come back to save the whole world.
Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor.
And that's what we out here doing. We out here showing our people their transgressions according to the Bible. So when we see our brothers going off, when we see our brothers committing sin, we're supposed to rebuke you, meaning correct. We're supposed to tell you, bruh, that's not the right way to go. My brother, are you listening right now? You listen, read that one more time for me, brother. Read it again.
Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart.
So we're not supposed to hate you in our heart. That's what plagues our communities. We have hatred towards each other, and what happens? A brother go get a gun, and then a brother dies for no reason. A pair of shoes over a woman. Because of what? We have no love for each other in our communities. That's why the Bible says not to hate your brother in your heart. Read.
Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor.
And we're supposed to correct one another. If you see a brother going off saying, brother, I want to do something to this brother, man. He made me mad today. We ain't supposed to go pick up no gun. The right way we're supposed to deal with each other is going to talk to him. According to the Bible. Read that.
And not suffer sin upon him.
And not suffer sin. Because what is murder? That's a sin according to the Bible. We don't want to suffer sin upon you. So that's why we're supposed to correct you. Brother, that's not the right way to go. Brother, laying down with this woman, you're supposed to make her your wife. Give me Hebrews 13:4. That's something else that plagues our communities. We're not dealing with each other according to the Bible. We're not dealing with our woman according to the Bible. When we lay down with a woman to woman, that's not what we're supposed to do according to the Bible. Read.
Hebrews chapter 13 and verse 4. Marriage is honorable in all.
Marriage is honorable. Marriage, when you lay down with a woman, when you make her your wife, and you have children, and raise up your children as a team, a husband and wife. That's what you're supposed to do. It said it's honorable.
That's right. And the bed undefiled. But whoremongers and adulterers, God will judge.
So you will be judged. This is in the New Testament. But when you go to church, the pastor says we don't have to worry about keeping the laws. But it says whoremongers and adulterers will be judged. So if you are interested in a woman, the proper thing that you're supposed to do, as in the Bible, according to the law, is to marry her. Now why? Now why? Why? Give me Deuteronomy 6 and 7. Because of the children. We got to understand our children are plagued with the sins that they see us do every day in the household. Especially when you have a mother and a father and they're not in the same household. So according to the law, the reason why marriage is honorable, because of the children have to be taught by a mother and a father being in the same household. Read.
Deuteronomy chapter 6 and verse 7. And thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children.
You got to teach diligently unto your children, a husband and a wife. You have to teach your children. A husband and a wife have to be in the home so there is good balance in the home. Where the father lacks, the mother's going to pick up. Where the mother lacks, the father's going to pick up. And what are the children seeing? A good example. This is a good example for the children. Read.
And shall talk with them when thou sittest in thine house, and when thou walkest by the way, and when thou liest down, and when thou risest up.
So we're supposed to teach our children, but the only proper way to do that, you can't do it. These single mothers, look at all this trauma that's happening in our communities from single parent households. These mothers can't do it by themselves. They need men to stand up to marry them so it can be a mother and a father in the house so the children can be taught the proper way according to the Bible. But first, we got to understand who we are. Give me Jeremiah 17:4. Give me Jeremiah 17:4. But we don't know who we are. So we don't hold these things in the Bible. We don't think that they're important. Because when we go to Christianity church, they teach us that the law is not important. Read that.
Jeremiah chapter 17 and verse 4. And thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thine heritage.
So this was one of the things that was going to happen to us as blacks, Native Americans, so-called Native Americans, and Hispanics. We were going to discontinue from our heritage. That's why we don't know the law. That's why we don't understand who we are. That's why we don't have our instructions as God gave it to us, because we don't know who we are in these last days. But we are coming back to understanding who we are, so we must follow the Bible as told to us once before. Read.
And thou even thyself shalt discontinue from thy heritage that I gave thee. And I will cause thee to serve thine enemies.
We will serve our enemies in this land. I don't know about anybody else, but only people I see serving their enemies are our people. But you got a question about Christ? What color is Christ, man? So I can ask you real quick.
He was swarthy last I checked.
You say it again?
Swarthy. That means of a dark complexion.
You taught me something today. Okay, all praise. But okay, so if you wanted to serve your children like I was going to teach them, do you have children? Okay, so if you want to teach your children, where would you go in the Bible to prove that? Because in Christian church, they're saying he a white man.
I would look. I'm gonna say what I teach my children is literal.
Okay.
We're gonna read this here literally, right?
Okay, cool. I agree with that.
And I don't really fuck with the New Testament because based on, it's called the New Testament. That means it's a new story.
Well, okay, I just show you Christ in the Old Testament.
That's what I'm saying. It's a new story because he's there to. He was the beginning of our fall. Like in my opinion, and based on what I've read, you know what I'm saying. He was used to convince us that our law was fulfilled because we follow God. And the God say he only fuck with those who are obedient to him. If you ain't, he's like, if you only way you show me that I'm part of you, that you part of me, is you do what I say.
Okay, let's start. You got a lot, so let's start off with the color. Let's start off with the color, then we'll get up to that second question.
Go
ahead, read that.
Daniel chapter 10 and verse 5. Then I lifted up my eyes and looked, and behold, behold, a certain man clothed in linen, whose loins were girded with fine gold of Uphaz. His body was also like the beryl, and his face as the appearance of lightning, and his eyes as lamps of fire, and his arms and his feet like into color to polished brass.
So you said like color. So Christ is black. Christ is black. So that's Old Testament. So you say you really don't mess with the New Testament? That's showing in the Old Testament what color Christ is.
That's right.
So that's what
Nation is men leading by example. Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is children with role models. Nation is unity. Nation is you. And